Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode 61 of the Hrudaichetanpodcast podcast. In today's episode, we invite Sujatha Kumari, ma'am, an international celebrity public speaking coach who has transformed the lives of 1 lakh plus individuals across 45 plus countries. She is the founder of Shine Brill Edu Private Limited, a Joe Stock speaker and a globally respected voice who has spoken on platforms like Global TV, IIMUN, IITs, and many prestigious stages worldwide. So let us bring Sujata ma'am on screen. Hello ma'am, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Hello,
Thank
how
you.
are you
Thank
doing
you.
ma'am?
I'm
Thank you so
doing
much
great.
ma'am.
How are
Yeah.
you, Chetan?
I'm doing great, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here on this
Thank
podcast.
thank you. Thank you, Chetan. Yeah.
Let's begin this amazing podcast. So, your journey itself is inspiring. So, what was the moment in your life when you realized that your voice had power?
So, Chetan, as you know, and most of you them who are following me, they know that for a really long time, I was silent. I was shy. I was hesitant for a really long time. And the moment was when I realized that I have a power. Was I remember when I was sitting with my dad and we were watching news, and my dad was like, "When will you come on TV? When will you speak like them?" Okay, so I was like, Dad, you already believe in me. Okay, so I have been doubting all my life. My dad has been like, when will you come? He has a hope, which means that he believes in me, right? That's when I realized that I have a voice in me. I just have to awaken them. And that's when I enrolled in programs of communication. And since then, the journey started.
Amazing. So, what and how was your childhood, and what was your favorite memorable moment that you could think of right now?
So, I would say that my childhood was, it was a roller coaster, definitely. But I would say I got a best childhood from my parents because whatever they could afford but back in that time, it was the best when I recall. And we did come from a lower middle class family. Affording education was difficult for me, and my dad decided that we might not be able to give education to her
Hmm.
because of the financial crisis that we were going on. So whatever in that situation my parents could provide and they could push themselves beyond their limits is something because of which I am here today. And what is the best moment for me, I would say, is that I remember I was not great at my studies. And
Mhm.
my dad was like, he always hoped that, okay, this time she's gonna score well. So, and then I remember when I was in 10th, I was in top three. And my dad, he always had this wish that, okay, every time that he gets down in the circle on the bus stop, okay, he wished that after she completes her 10th, usually what happens is there's a banners of your photo and all. My dad always, every day he visualized that my daughter's photo will come here, and
Hmm.
every day he used to get down and he used to wait for this banner. And remember that he came one day home and he came with umbrella. I said that, Papa, what's this umbrella? He said, you are in the top three and your photo was on the banner and this is your reward for that. I was like, wow. So that was one of my best memory until now, I would say.
Amazing. Beautiful. So, what was a passion as a child, and did you have the same passion and you converted into profession right now?
No, as a child, when I grew up, we did not have digital medias, and that is when whatever we heard around was government job, a doctor, engineer. So I
Yes.
started dreaming that I want to become either of this. That was my vision. But the more I started growing, the more I started meeting people, the more I started understanding about myself. My passion changed, and I think that until I got my first job. Until then, it was just about me getting a good job in a company and then working and living a normal life. But I think universe wanted the big for me. That's when I was in corporate and I realized that I need to work on my communication. I started learning from my masters, and that is when I realized that I should be doing this. And I think that public speaking chose me, and I didn't choose public speaking. This is what I say. So I wanted to be a doctor, engineer, or someone who holds government job. But now here we go, serving millions of people to speak confidently at their workplace.
Amazing. So, what does this confidence word mean to you personally?
Confidence word mean a lot to me because this is something not only me, global issues is like people, because I'm a public speaking coach, a lot of people come to me telling I want to be confident. And for me this word was very close because I used to crave that. I wish that I could have spoken like the other person. I wish that I would have been like the other person who's speaking so confident. I always wished for it. And when I started myself speaking up confidently, I conquered myself. This opened up a lot of opportunities for me, which is externally a lot of global platforms, a lot of national platforms open, a lot of TV news channels, a lot of podcasts open the show, and here we go as well on your show today, right? So confidence word means a lot because just because of this, I have bigger connects. I have millionaires, billionaires. I have top entrepreneurs, top leaders. I have chairman of a lot of TV news channels today in my connects. So I have big connects. I have big opportunities open my door, and most importantly, I'm serving my purpose today, and that purpose is also helping me in my to improvise my family lifestyles at the same time. So this word really really means a lot, and I'm happy that I'm multiplying confidence in today's time as a public speaking coach.
Amazing, beautiful, ma'am. That's more important, right? When you have that satisfaction in you,
Right.
like as you said, purpose is fulfilled and I'm fulfilling. Serving people is what I love, and that's more important when you give
Yes.
to the society.
Yes.
As you
Yes.
said that you were thinking that I had to become them, they are better, their confidence is better. How can teenagers avoid that? How can maybe adults also face this, but how can they conquer that how you did?
See, all our life, because now you mentioned that how can we stop ourselves in that way, right? So, as a adult, as a youngsters, when we were young, we were consciously compared ourselves. Parents, people have compared ourselves to others. Okay, so subconsciously, we ourselves compare ourselves to someone else, right? So it's important that stop comparing yourself with others. That's the very first thing, and start believing who you are. Start believing in your potential, because today your situations, you can't judge your future by judging your based on your present situation. That's what I say. So believe in who you are, believing who you are becoming, and things will flow and things will follow your way.
Now tell me first three steps to anyone who is just starting their public speaking.
Very first thing, if you're starting your public speaking journey, I would say that start from home, because start from recording videos. That's what I did. First thing that you can, if you cannot invest immediately, if you're a student, if you're a youngster, if you're dependent on somebody for financial, things, then you should always start from. You have a lot of resources on YouTube. You have Udemy courses. You have phone. Just have to record it. That's the very first thing that I would say to get started. And second that you can do, and if you can afford and with time, I would say then the shortest shortcut that I took up was to have my mentor. Yeah. Third, that you can become confident, you can master your communication skill by networking with people. There are a lot of opportunities that you have outdoor. If you are in the tier one cities, a lot of events keeps happening. Start socializing with people, because that's very important. I remember when after pandemic, because everyone were isolated, even I was isolated. So as a public speaking coach, it at least took 3 months for me to open up. And the very shortcut things that I did was I started attending more of a social networking events, and that helped me. So these are the three things that one can do in order to get started with the communication.
Super, ma'am. So wonderful three steps that ma'am
Yeah.
has explained. So audience, take notes of this. If you haven't taken notes now, so just rewind this 5 second, 10 second back, and then watch it again, make notes. Okay, this
Right.
will work for
Right.
sure. Do this continuously for the next 30 days. I think they will see
That
the
will work out.
difference.
Definitely, that will work out. So, socializing is one of the best way I would say. Every time that you attend any networking events, find an opportunity to just speak up, introduce yourself, tell that I'm this, tell that I'm that, tell about your business, pitch your product. You will see that at least out of 100 people that you meet, at least two will become your client.
Absolutely, yes. So I think that no, not only who's starting public speaking does not have confidence, but even experienced people will have the nervousness and the confidence problem. So you have impacted 1 lakh plus people across 45 plus countries. What is the one common confidence struggle you see globally?
Honestly, different working with different people, different culture, different countries, all that I've realized that it is a global issue. Okay, problem remains the same. So one thing that I've noticed most importantly is that people do not have self belief. They do
Hmm.
not trust themselves. They do not trust their voice. They start doubting themselves. They start fearing and they start judging themselves. And that is one of the reason that they're lacking confidence. They are not able to reach the potential they want to reach.
So, in your experience, what's the biggest myth about public speaking that actually holds people back?
Most importantly, they believe that they need confidence to go on the stage.
Hmm.
That's the myth. But you don't need to be confident to go on the stage. You become confident in the process by facing people again and again. Yeah. So you can just get tips and techniques on how to swim, but you will not learn swimming until you repeat it by getting into the water. It is the same with public speaking. It is okay to have tips and techniques, but it is important that you go and implement them again and again. At least first 10 stages should be for you to test and try, and your feedback is your audience expression while
Yeah.
you're on stage.
And
So while
people,
you're on stage, it's important that you notice, you observe people. How are their expressions every time that you are on the stage? Are they excited? Are they feeling
yeah,
like okay? Are they feeling bored? Then that's your feedback. Go back, work again, and come back on the stage.
yeah, absolutely. And people have this myth saying that no, you should be perfect when you do something.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
perfect. So that is again one of the myth I would say. You don't have to be perfect. I'm telling you today I hold 7 years of experience as a public speaking coach. Even today I say there will be somebody who is best than me. Okay. There will be somebody who is perfect than me. Okay. And there will be somebody who is perfect than them.
Yeah.
Okay. It will continue. There is always somebody best than you. Doesn't mean that you're not best in yourself, right? So it's important. People need you, people want you. Even if you're one step ahead of somebody, you're good to go.
Yeah. I think the process makes you perfect.
Process makes you perfect.
Yeah.
And process, there's nothing called as perfect, okay? You will learn in the process, and there will always be room for improvement.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, how much does self-talk influence the way we speak and present ourselves?
Honestly, Chetan, this is the main reason that a lot of people are not able to go out there on the stage and grab opportunities.
Hmm.
Majorly, it is because of the self-talk. No one, I do this activity in my training, and I ask them to write down all the negative self-talk that you have and write down everything that you feel that you're having this conversation with yourself. So, the moment they write down, I say that is this your words or is it somebody else who has been telling you? Say that no ma'am, this is my words because this is my negative conversation. Now
Hmm.
I ask them that tell me one thing, then is this the reason that you're stopping yourself or is it just because of people you're stopping yourself? They say
Hmm.
that, ma'am, now I realize that it is me who is holding myself back because these are the conversations are coming from me, not because of people. Okay, because externally there are very few instances that somebody told, hey, tu nahi kar sakta, you can't do it. Or they might have failed somewhere on the stage, they stop themselves. But
Hmm.
major conflict is inside you. So
Hmm.
your self-talk, it's very important that you change it. So your negative self-talk will give you the negative outcome. If you are positive, if you keep telling that I'm excited, I'm going to add value, I'm there to deliver the transformation or the knowledge or the learnings, then I think that the moment you have this process or the moment you have this thought in your mind that I'm there to give, okay, the moment you become selfless on the stage, you are actually doing well on the stage. So you have to detach yourself from all the negative things that is holding you back, whether it is emotion, whether it is self talk, it is self doubt. Just detach yourself from that.
Amazing. Wow. So, what role do past experiences or childhood play in our communication style?
Okay. So most importantly, I think I'm loving the question honestly, Chetan, because very few people understand that public speaking fear is not just the upper layer of learning. Okay, it is the fear something that is holding them from their childhood because of their childhood baggages, their upbringing, the conditioning that they had a lot more. So definitely childhood traumas, your upbringing impacts you for who you become. So it's very
Mhm.
important because as a kid, I was somebody, I worked on myself for almost 3 4 years. I did a lot of my healing in order to get rid of the fear that was holding me back, and this impacts you a lot. Let's assume that, see, I was as a kid, I was told that you cannot do this. I was told because I was a shy person, and
Mhm.
when I had to speak up, when I decided that I will become a speaker, my thoughts inside was like, oh, Sujata, people had seen you like this for a
Mhm.
really long time. And this identity is what society knows you as a Sujata, and the other identity you want to become. For a really long time to shift from this identity to the other identity took time. The reason being was the lot of baggages, the lot of upbringing, lot of people's opinion was too much important for me. So
Yeah.
I personally felt that, Sujata, if you will not change, if you will not change your remove, get detached from your old identity, how will you become the new version that you want to become? For that, your old baggages, the old identity also includes your baggages, everything that you have to detach yourself from, the baggages, the traumas, the upbringing, and everything. So I had to detach myself from the old identity to become a new identity, for which along with that I had to detach my baggages also,
Wow.
because
Good.
that impacted me a lot. And again, not only with me, a lot of people, when they have to go on the stage, they have to initiate, they have to try something new out of their comfort zone. Last time maybe they would have failed in the previous stages. Now they're like, Sujata, I failed once, I feel that what if the same thing happens to me once again? That holds them back. So it's very important for you to understand that it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay that you didn't do well, but what is not okay to staying wherever you are, because by staying wherever you are, you're going to be wherever, you are not going to reach where you want to reach. So it's important that you detach yourself, you practice self compassion, telling, hey, it's okay, that was just one of the experience.
Mhm.
I had a past failure, doesn't mean that I'll have it again. Even if I'll have it again, I'm going to take a learning and I'm going to move forward. So that should be the process, that should be the thought process of people.
Yeah. Beautiful. So I can relate to it when you said no, childhood conditioning affects when you
It does.
grow up, right? So when I also was in childhood, I was protected, I was saved by my parents, and I was not talking to anyone else other than my family members or whomever I know. I was just with them. So when
Yes,
I grow up, it was very difficult for me to go out, speak to strangers, and speak to shopkeepers and ask them this and that. And when
yes,
I learned the art of public speaking, communication skills, and that's when everything changed. And now I've completed more than 60 plus episodes
yes,
as of
yes.
right.
And I think that I'm so glad that you shared this experience. And Chetan, as a young, you have learned a lot about life. And I think that parents, and in their places, they are good that they do not want their child to affect, get affected, get into the wrong place. They become very protective. But as a parent, people also have to understand that they have to let their child fall by themselves and learn. So even for me, for at least 25 years of my age, I was too much conditioned. I was like, don't do this. I was seeking a lot of approval from my known people, my family member. And later I realized that I'm not able to make decision by myself. I'm not able to talk. I'm not able to initiate conversation. I'm not able to make decisions. So it's important. Later point, I had to allow myself to make mistakes. I had to allow myself to speak up, and that is how I learned. So you learn more from your experiences.
Mm, absolutely. So now let's talk about few beauty myths. Right? So social media sets unrealistic beauty standards. How can young people stay confident without comparison?
See, most importantly, I had this myth that you should look beautiful to go on the stage, because stage is only for beautiful people for really long time. But later I realized that if you have voice, if you
Mm,
have knowledge, if you wanna share something on the stage, okay, you do not need good grammar, you do not need to look really beautiful. It is just the intention.
yeah.
Okay, for a really long time, because I had this big bunny teeth back then. Now I have fixed it almost. Okay. Back then I had this thought process that I don't think I deserve to go on the stage. I'll tell you one story of mine. When I was in my college, and when the auditioning was going on for who will become the host of annual function of our college. Okay, so I was like, cool, I want to do this because this is something that I want to try. Though I'm an introvert, I want to do it. So I gave my name for auditioning.
Mm,
And back then in 2012, I think I used to put full of oil on my hair and then tie my hair, no makeup on my face, not even a lipstick except lip balm. Okay, one safety pin here, safety pin here, and I used to wear the salwar kameez. That is how I used to look. Okay,
mm, mm,
यहाँ बिंदी यहाँ पे बिंदी and all. That's how I used to look. So I remember one of my teachers, she came up to me and telling that, Sujata, you have given your name for auditioning. I said, yes, ma'am. So she had put this seed in my mind, telling that, Sujata, host should look beautiful. That's
mm,
what she told me.
mm,
She didn't tell me you're not beautiful. She told host should look beautiful.
mm,
And that is a day I stopped even asking for opportunities. That's the day I stopped going on the stage, just because I felt and I was told that going on the stage is something demands you to look beautiful. Okay. Until I met my coach who told that if you have voice, if you want to share, you have value, you can change people's life. Okay. Then you don't need to look beautiful.
mm.
You just need his right personality. You definitely need to have a right personality, and that is where right body language is enough for you to look presentable on the stage.
Wow, amazing.
And most importantly, Chetan, a lot of people have this thought in their mind that I'm fat, I'm skinny, I am fair, I'm dark, and they have their own insecurities, and that is the reason that they don't show up on the stage, right?
Yeah.
The moment you accept who you are, the moment you accept how you look,
Mm,
okay, the game is changed. You change
yeah.
the entire game, and you go on the stage. Doesn't matter who, how, and what. So that's very important. Self-acceptance, self-love plays a very important role here.
So how can someone feel confident on stage or camera without heavy makeup or perfection?
So your question is how to speak on camera
Yeah,
without heavy makeup.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I personally again believe there are a lot of, because you create content, I create content. There are days, because you are following me also for really long time. There are days I show up without makeup. I just
Mm,
show up. Okay. So I think that you do not have to stop yourself. If you can groom yourself a little bit, it is good. But people love the raw content. People love for who you are. Okay. The content and the volume, the voice of the
mm,
video. Okay, only these two matters a lot. The clarity of the video also do not matter. If you have a good voice in your, and if you can invest in a good mic,
yeah,
and if you can just have your phone, and even if you're not groomed much, then it's absolutely fine. Just show up. Showing up is very important. Sharing your voice, sharing your knowledge is very important, I feel.
beautiful. So when we come to teenagers and young adults ask questions, what advice would you give to a student who fears speaking in front of classmates?
Hmm. That's a good question. Now, when you are in corporate, it is easy. But
Yeah.
when you are in college or school, it is way difficult to
Yeah.
even get out and start speaking. Take that courage to go in front of people, in front of classmates and speak, because you know the fact that everyone are immature, and you know they are people who will bully you. They'll make fun of you, they'll mock you down. And as a kid, we are not matured enough to
Mm.
understand the things that, hey, it's absolutely fine, those external noise should not impact me. We are not most of the students are I think that many of them have started understanding these days, but still many people take it personally. Many kids, they
Yeah.
take it personally, and they start isolating themselves, they start being quiet, and that experience is something that shapes them as an adult, and they stop speaking up for a really long time when they have to actually perform in the corporate setups. Okay, because I work with a lot of people above 30. Now, this is the game that if you are in your school or college or in a teenager, and you have to speak up on the stage, and you have to, speak in front of the classmates confidently, it is important that you only believe in a inner voice that you have, and you only see the vision that who you are becoming in coming time. As because you aspire big things, you know the fact that if you will this stages the stages where you are in your classroom, these are the stages that will help you here. No, you're not performing, you're not losing anything. Okay,
Mm.
and this is a platform where you can utilize to practice again and again, again and again, again and again, and keeping yourself away from people who can mock you down, who can pull you down, who can laugh at you. It's important that you use close your eyes for ears and eyes for this external noise. Okay, and just take it forward. If you are visionary, you know that what you want to become, you are aligned with your goal, then I don't think that it should impact you. Always seek guidance from people. If you can tell your parents that you want to learn public speaking, because these days parents are understandable about extra skills. If you can take up external help and take help and take it forward as well, even that will help you out.
Beautiful, ma'am. So, for teenagers and young adults, what are the basic grooming habits that naturally enhance confidence?
Grooming, I personally feel that grooming is not just about you dressing up well, you looking good, you combing your hair. Grooming is way more than this. The way you carry, the personality that you have, the aura that you carry every time, the energy that that shines out of you. A lot more includes in this. At the same time, when you say as a teenager, as an adult, if the grooming that I talk about, I think that it's very important not just for adults or teenagers, it is for everyone.
Mm.
Because the way you carry, the way you present yourself in front of people, people will take you seriously. Hruday, today you're very young, right? At the same time, you're shooting podcast with lot of people today, right? Who are way more elder than you. Okay?
Mm.
And people will respect whether you're younger or elder based on how they carry themselves as well, based
Yeah.
on their communication, based on how they carry themselves as well. Both goes hand on hand. Okay, so people will respect you if you are well groomed, and you do not need expensive coaching courses as an adult, as a teenager. You always have internet access. Only you all that you have to do is utilize it wisely. Learn what is the color combinations that goes well. Learn how can I what kind of, even you don't have to do expensive shoppings. Do budget friendly shoppings.
Yeah.
That's more than enough. Just understand your style, understand your personality, and understand the color that goes well with you. Understand that what color combination goes well. Learn that part. Second, learn the right body language, right gestures, right eye contact, confidence while you present, confidence while you sit, the gestures that you can have. So the moment you learn these things, I think that goes really well, because I have seen people who were wearing expensive outfit, but just because of the weak personality, they
Mm.
were not standing out in front of the crowd. Okay, so it's very important that you can balance your grooming, you balance your personality, your aura, your energy hand on hand.
Mm. Absolutely. So, when a teenager says, I freeze on stage, what actually happens within them at that point in time? And how can they come out of that?
People get freezed on the stage for multiple reasons. Okay. The moment they're not on in the present, I always tell that public speaking is a conversation that happens between one to many. Okay. And the moment your mind says that, hey, now I have to go on the stage, I have to perform. The moment your mind says you need to perform, you need to look best, otherwise these people are going to judge you, and you're not in fully in the present moment, that is when you will go blank, your body will freeze, your heartbeat will raise faster, you start sweating, you will turn pink or red, all of these things will happen. So it's very important that how do you get rid of it?
Mm,
How do you actually be in the present? How do you actually present yourself better? Is that firstly understand, reach early wherever you have to speak up on the stage, reach early and be very present in the moment. Know
mm,
where you are, know who is going to be your audience, and know what is your content. Prepare your speech well.
mm.
Okay. And know your expertise, know your subject really well,
Yeah,
and know that you're there to deliver, you're there to give, not to take. Okay, you're not there to gain sympathy, empathy, whatever. You're there to just deliver, you're just to add values. The moment you realize this, your mind goes calmer. And the moment you realize that I'm not here to perform, I'm here to share knowledge, I'm here to have conversation, like I'm having conversation with you. I can have the similar conversation with one to many, which is like 100 200 people in front of me. The moment I'm convincing my mind, the moment I'm training my mind in this way, the freezing thing, going blank, lacking the words, lacking the content, all of these things will disappear.
yeah, perfect. So, is eye contact a skill? How can beginners practice it naturally?
Eye contact is definitely a skill. I'll tell you about me. As a kid, as a teenager, or as an adult also, for really long time, I found myself hard to maintain eye contact with people. The reason being is I was scared. It was very hard for me to look in the other person's eye and talk. Okay, so what I used to do, I used to look at their lips. So my brother was like, "Why are you looking at the lips of the person?" Okay, it definitely gives the wrong intention. So I was like, "No, bro, I just wanted to understand how the words lip sync and other things happens." And because I was also scared of maintaining eye contact, so eye contact is definitely a skill. And how because you have to understand your body language plays 55% of the impact in your entire talk or a conversation, or on every time that you speak up on any kind of platforms. So eye contact is one of the mode of communication between one to many or in one to one. Okay. Now, when you find it hard to maintain eye contact with somebody, it is important that you start looking in the eyes of the other person. You start from your home, start from your neighbor, start from your friends, start maintaining eye contact. And there's something called as this area. Okay. This is like triangle area. And what I did in order to work on my eye contact was that even if you look in the
Mm,
mid of the nose of the other person, or if you look in the center point of the between the eyebrow, okay, the other person still feels that you're maintaining eye contact. Okay, you can start like this. These practices can go from 5 to 7 days. You will be sorted within 5 to 7 days, and you can start doing this within your own circle. And then consciously, you will start practicing this, and it will start coming to you very naturally after that. So you can do this. This is for one to one. Again, one to many. When you are on the stage and you have to maintain eye contact, see, everyone wants to be considered. Everyone
yeah,
wants that speakers should look at everyone, but most of them, whenever they are on the stage, they just look at one person, and that person feels very uncomfortable telling that, why is this person just looking at me, why is this speaker not looking at anyone else? I'm sure at least once in a life everyone have
yeah,
experienced this, that the speaker is just looking at one person. So it's important. It is mostly because the speaker is comfortable with this one person only. Okay,
mm,
or he or she is very much afraid on the stage. So it's very important that you also learn practicing this using the LMR technique, which is like left, middle, and right. The moment you consciously say that, hey, I'm on the stage, every 2 minutes I'm going to look left, and I'm going to look middle, and I'm going to look right. And every time I'm going to look either offside, I'm going to maintain 3 to 5 seconds of time to have conversation with that left side group of
yeah,
people. Okay. And then I shift here, and then I shift here. So everyone will feel considered. So that's
mm.
how you maintain eye contact in one to many.
Beautiful. So when we come to the last part of this episode, that will be rapid fire questions, one round. So are you excited for this, ma'am?
Sure, I am. I'm excited. I will see what is there coming.
Confidence or comfort?
Confidence.
Stage or camera?
Stage.
Morning routine or night reflection?
Morning routine.
Fear or faith?
Faith.
Practice or perfection?
Practice.
Listening or speaking?
Listening.
Inner voice or outer approval?
Inner voice.
Preparation or spontaneity?
Preparation.
Consistency or motivation?
Consistency.
Calm or confidence?
Both.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much, ma'am. This was just amazing. We learned so many things from you today about public speaking, communication skills, confidence, how to build it. And you gave us steps also. So, teenagers or young adults who's watching this, or aged person maybe from any part of the India you are watching from, this is for you. So, send this podcast to anyone that you would want to, because you are serving a person in
Yes.
their life.
Yes.
So,
Very.
what is your last message that you would want to give me and as well as the audience?
Only one message that I would love to give to you and everybody listening to this podcast is that no matter how hard the journey will be, you're not giving up.
Wow. Amazing, beautiful message, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. This was just amazing. I personally learned many new things. I also practiced and memorized whatever you said, and it was very relatable for me and maybe as well as for the audience too. So, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Chetan. Thank you so much. It was lovely being here. I really had good conversation, good time here, and very hand-picked questions. I love the way that you hosted this entire podcast from the beginning until end. May this podcast grow more and more. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much, ma'am, for your wonderful words. Looking forward to have you in my next episode, audience. So I will see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.